It's October.
And we're doing a side piece.
It's been October for a little bit, but I'm still excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it so much.
I am constantly researching episodes and stuff right now since we're doing so many extra ones in October. But
I have so many tabs open on my
so
iPad.
Fun. I mean, it's fun and awful at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
This side piece came from Facebook. And for some reason, that's all I wrote down about it. Usually I save the name and everything, but like, I don't know if this came from our Facebook group. I think it came from the Kentucky Murderinos group.
Which is an amazing group as well.
Yes. Kara, back when we had first started the podcast, she was like, hey, do you guys have any stories?
Yeah.
And one of them had, I think that's where this came from.
Yeah.
So thank you to whoever suggested this. I'm sorry that I didn't keep track of your name. Sometimes I'm just the worst.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I'm really bad with names in general. So.
Have we said the name of the podcast yet?
Oh, hey guys. This is the Witches, Magic, Murder, and Mystery podcast.
I'm Megan.
Yeah, and I'm Kara.
We're great at this.
We're so good at this. I think it's because we've been doing so many episodes this month.
Okay, so this is about Crybaby Bridge, located on Sleepy Hollow Road, right here in Kentucky. Sleepy Hollow Road.
Sleepy Hollow Road.
How have we never been there?
I don't know. Do we go?
We do.
We do. Okay.
Crybaby Bridge is not a unique name to this bridge in Kentucky. There are bridges throughout the United States. The Wikipedia link in our show notes will tell you about others located in Ohio, Maryland, Texas. They're all known as Crybaby Bridges because people say that the sound of a baby can be or has been heard from the bridge. And there are usually urban legends surrounding the bridges that are about a mother throwing a baby off a bridge.
Oh my God.
Awful. Before jumping to her death as well. And now her ghost looks for the baby while crying.
Oh.
So there's lots of reasons that you might hear a baby crying.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really want to go through all the scenarios, but there you go.
Yeah.
So near the border of Jefferson and Oldham counties in Kentucky, there's a Sleepy Hollow Road.
Okay.
And on this road, you'll find Kentucky's Crybaby Bridge. Originally, it was a covered wooden bridge, like one of those really old bridges of Madison County type
love
bridges.
those bridges.
Me too. But now it's been replaced by a sturdier, newer bridge made out of steel and concrete.
Oh, that's boring.
On the road I grew up on, if you go way past my parents' house, you get to this bridge that goes over like a river. And when I was younger, it's a cement bridge now.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it was a wooden bridge. It wasn't covered, but it was just wooden. And I remember every single time.
It's creepy.
Just being terrified.
Ugh.
And like the thing is that if that bridge had ever fallen away, you wouldn't have died. It wasn't high up.
Right.
It wasn't a deep river.
Yeah.
Would have been fine. I mean, terrifying.
Yeah.
To anybody.
Right.
But as a kid, I just remember being like, it just took a few seconds to drive over it, but I would be terrified every time.
Yeah.
Now it's cement. And it's obviously not as terrifying, but also just not as pretty. Like it's just not as pretty.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Maybe that should be our next podcast, pictures on some covered bridges.
I love them so much. Also scared to death of them.
Yep.
And now there's all these
terrifying
stories.
Yep.
So the legend around this one is, this is awful, that mothers would drop their unwanted, sick, or deformed babies off of the bridge. And if you stop there at the bridge, you can hear the cries.
No.
I feel like for so many bridges to have this particular nickname and legend, then there must be something about the wind and the water or whatever that makes it sound that way.
Or there's lots of animals, like bobcats sound like babies crying.
Yeah.
Baby rabbits sound like babies crying. I don't know what foxes.
There's also the possibility that just like the power of suggestion, if someone tells you you're going to hear it. The main thing I want to believe here is that the idea of mothers throwing babies off bridges didn't happen. This isn't the thing. This is not true.
No.
Okay? All right. So the bridge itself is just one creepy part of Sleepy Hollow Road. The road itself is just a 2-mile stretch of blacktop, a curvy 2-lane road in the country. At the deepest part of the Sleepy Hollow Road, you'll find Crybaby Bridge, which crosses Harrods Creek, a tributary of the Ohio River.
Okay.
So everybody think back to your social studies classes where you learned what a tributary was. I think it's just like an offshoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I like to be educational. The road is lined with trees, which makes it really pretty.
Right.
It also makes it very dark at night because it kind of forms like a canopy in some places.
Real spooky.
And then the curves, they say, are really sharp, blind curves.
Of course.
So you can just imagine going down this road. You're going to be really tense. Like it's really dark.
Yep.
It's blind curves. Yep. It's just really stressful, even if you don't know the stories.
Yeah.
So aside from the stories about the bridge, there's also a legend about a hearse that appears out of nowhere
What?
And it's like you'll be driving down the road and all of a sudden there's a car behind you and it just won't, it's like following you really close. And eventually it's run cars off the road before. In some places, when you run off the road, there's like a 30-foot drop.
Right.
So it's scary too.
That's terrifying.
There's a cemetery nearby. It's not exactly on Sleepy Hollow Road, but it's nearby and it's called Harrods Creek Cemetery. And it's supposed to be where that ghostly hearse is heading.
Oh.
So, side note, there have also been sightings of a ghostly young girl, 6 or 7 years old, entering the cemetery. The cemetery is super old, with graves of people born before the Revolutionary War.
Oh.
And they say that it's still active today, like they're still burying people in that cemetery. I love old cemeteries.
I do too.
The cemetery in Lancaster, where I grew up, is old. Like it's got some really old headstones. It's also just beautiful. It's like rolling landscape with these big, huge old trees and a big pond in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's just gorgeous.
Oh yeah. It's like the ones in Charleston and Savannah and stuff.
And all like varying types of headstones and sizes. And some of them are really intricate. Like the older ones especially are just like really...
Have you seen on TikTok where that woman goes around and cleans?
Yes. I was thinking about her when I wrote this.
I think that is so interesting.
I love it. And I keep thinking like, I could do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any free time anymore.
Right.
But back when I used to have free time.
Maybe we should do that as a podcast episode.
I mean, it's just so incredible and beautiful to think of what she does for these people who like, they've been gone so long. They don't have anybody visiting their graves anymore. And then the Lexington Cemetery here is
oh my gosh,
gorgeous.
It's beautiful. The
it's
statues and stuff that are there.
Huge trees. It feels weird to be like, I love that cemetery.
No, but
I
it's
do.
Yeah.
They're just pretty and peaceful and quiet.
Yes.
Okay, so there's that cemetery. There's also on the road, there's a place called Devil's Point.
Oh gosh.
A location in the hollow.
Of course it's called that.
Yeah, well, was allegedly the site of satanic rituals in the 70s and 80s. The activity of a nearby cult. And I think that's probably a bunch of crap. I don't believe any talk of satanic stuff from the 80s. I just think it's all nonsense.
Yeah.
There have also been multiple sightings.
It was just a bunch of underground sex clubs that nobody understood.
I mean, back before anybody was allowed to be open about anything. There have also been multiple sightings of a soldier on horseback.
Oh.
People have mentioned lights flying beside their car or moving through the trees. There is even talk that the road is a time warp where you feel like it just takes a few minutes to drive down the road, but then when you get on the other side and you look at your clock, it's been hours.
Oh.
That's like the one thing that makes me want to go to this road. Yeah. Because that fascinates me.
Let's factor in a couple extra hours. Is this on the way to that jail pizza place?
We can make it work. In a Kentucky monthly article I read, you can find the link in the show notes, the author said he had been told similar stories by 2 different people who had never met each other about an old woman standing in the road. Oh. One of the people referred to her as the Sleepy Hollow Witch, and you better believe I Googled the heck out of that, but I didn't find anything. Oh. And this author said the same thing. They were like, when I tried to search Sleepy Hollow Witch, I couldn't find anything else.
Oh, dang it.
Both stories say they encountered an older woman near Crybaby Bridge. She would be too old to be one of the mothers.
Right.
But both people said they rounded a corner near the bridge and suddenly this woman is standing there in the middle of the road.
Oh.
One person swerved to miss her and hit the guardrail.
Uh-oh.
The other person didn't have time to swerve, but drove right through her and she disappeared.
Ooh.
So obviously I've looked it up. It would take us a little over an hour to get there. So,
okay.
I don't hate it. Let's just add it to all the things that we want to do.
I mean, maybe we can head towards Fleur-de-Fleet afterwards and just stay the night.
Fleur-de-Fleet, you guys, if you've never been in Louisville, it is one of the best vintage thrift shop things, flea market type. It's like a great flea market.
Yes.
I mean, it's
very well organized.
It's huge.
Prices are great.
Oh man. I've only been the one time when me and you met, but it's just great. We should definitely
amazing.
Go. So yeah, we can drive to Fleur-de-Fleet.
Yep.
Side pass through the Sleepy Hollow Road. And maybe it takes hours of our life to get through, but that's
okay. We're totally fine with that. Also, side note, it amazes me how some ghosts are seen or spirits are seen with their animals. Like those were truly their spirit guide. Like even horses. Like I grew up riding horses. Like those things, I mean, they're so smart. They know you.
Yeah, the whole soldier and the horse thing is interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't say it just said soldier. Like I couldn't find anything that described what era they think he might be from. But the fact there's been multiple sightings is it's just interesting. I just want to drive down it. Like I said, the time warp thing is what interests me the most because I get real into the whole
maybe we should go live as we're doing it and see what happens.
Oh yeah. We could do one of our videos of just driving through.
Yeah.
Because it's just so, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about.
Yeah.
That's it,
guys.
That's our side piece this week.
Sleepy Hollow Road. Kentucky's full of all sorts of like crazy little mysteries.
Yeah. If you live near there and you've gone there,
and you've been warped into the time.
if you live there and haven't gone there, you should, and then tell us about it. So either way, the important thing is that you tell us about it.
Yeah. We can all meet up for pizza later.
And you can do that by messaging us at witchesmagicmurdermystery@gmail.com.
Hop onto our Instagram. You can DM us or hit up the link. It'll tell you anywhere and everywhere you can find us.
Yeah. So you can check the show notes for all the stuff too.
Yep.
So, all right. Don't forget this month, if you're a member of the Patreon, you're getting brand new content every single day.
Of content.
Except the weekends.
Right.
We love you guys
so much.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.